So this actually looks like a content. Several times I've been able to speak up for women and pregnant women. Currently, my sister gave birth, and I can bet you she has not recovered completely from giving birth. Yes, the other day they had to rush her to the hospital because her BP is high. Things like she gaining weight, and she's gaining weight all because she needs to eat more. To breastfeed the baby. The baby likes too much food, eats too much, sucks too much. And I'm like, all this for family, all this for a home. And she still has to work. Trust me, if I have my way, my wife, the moment she's pregnant to when she gives birth, and maybe 2 years later, I don't think she deserves to go to work. I don't think so. See, we can argue these things, when we don't feel it closely or when we don't have human empathy. And I know, yes, society actually aids these issues, like, the poverty country we find ourselves in actually makes these things impossible. That's why I said, like, a lot of people would disagree, and that's because of the way the country is. It's not because that's what you want to, do. I could remember some time, in life where I used to say, oh, I can never marry this, I can never marry that. But now, trust me, most of the things I said I can't marry, I've actually ruled them out. Why? Because the things that made me to make those decisions, I've passed those levels. So now I now see in another level that, oh, you can actually marry this kind of a person because, you've passed that level of weakness. You now have a strength that can make you believe that, oh, this particular thing is not needed. You get. So a lot of times, decision people make is based on their capacity. But trust me, for women that are married, the changes, the pressure, the body changes alone is war. And then their life is on the map. I was literally telling my sis, I said, if you die today, baby would not remember that he could not live without sucking breast. Everybody will move on. Your husband will marry another person. Everybody will literally move on. You need to take care of yourself. You need to start losing weight. You need to take care of yourself. You need to focus on yourself. Do you understand? I think we as men, we have a lot of role to play when our women are pregnant. For real. We need to be there for them mentally, physically, socially. We need to help them recover. We need to help them stand. It's not a plea. It's a command that should be done. Unless you're a wicked person, unless you don't have conscience. But trust me, with all the videos that I have watched, seeing women go through different changes, what we are discussing now is about you and your family. You are married. Even if you're not married, you got her pregnant. You have the same understanding with her. It's not like she got pregnant in your back. Trust me, the moment it has to do with bringing kids into this world, it's your 100% that should be involved. And money at that point becomes the least option. At that point, emotional intelligence, emotional presence becomes the top priority as money follows suit. Because a lot of us hide under the umbrella of, I need to provide, man, I need to provide. And then our providing, we're sitting out with friends, drinking. Because why? We already know that, oh, the money is there. The money will sort those things. No. This is why I told myself, I cannot rush to get married. I said, I have to be present in the life of my kids. I have to. And everybody say, oh, time they go. Time is not going anywhere. Because at the end of the day, this time that is ticking to death. For real. Whether you achieve kids, you don't achieve kids, at the end of the day, the time that is ticking to death. So when people are using time to measure your achievements, they are being stupid. They are not being realistic. Whether you die or not die, your next of kin takes over your wealth. Somebody must take over your wealth, whether it's your child or not your child. And as far as I'm concerned, I've seen a lot of useless next of kin. You work so hard, at the end of the day, you die. They don't have the capacity to actually maintain the same energy that you used to build wealth. So it is deeper than this. For me, if you want to bring a child into this world, and that's why I have problem with people giving birth to so many. You see poor people giving birth to so many, and some people support them. It's a lie. We need to start creating awareness of this thing. If you don't have capacity to raise children, one is enough. At least that one that come day comes on, you can try as much as possible to raise that child. Or if you want to raise more children, you should make sure there is someone who does not have a child that have told you, oh, I'll take care of this child when you born and bring them to me. So I'm not against you raising more children, but I'm against the process at which you raise these kids. You raise these kids so poor that they are the ones becoming the militants. They are the ones becoming the rapists. I think if we really have sisters, mothers, friends that we have empathy on, that we are really close to, and we see the changes that comes, when they give birth and, a whole lot, I think we'll begin to develop a soft spot for women, and we will try as much as possible to be there for them. Unless you're a boy that does not have the father instinct and the father, endorsement in them from childhood. If you are endorsed to be a father, a protector, provider, defender, walai, you would never allow your woman go through some certain changes alone. You would make sure you are present there. Please, I urge every man out there to make sure that at least they are there for a pregnant wife, because their confidence lies in you. We cannot doubt that fact. Their confidence lies 100% in how you treat them. Treat them right, be there for them, go through the changes with them. Because at the end of the day, the child is not only theirs, it's also yours. A lot of you, when the child comes to the world, you value the child more than the mother. It's not supposed to be so.